What's shaking and baking, folks? Had a couple requests for how I do my 259s. How I put the 259s on any piece of coax, including 75 ohm. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Never had a failure. The only failure I've ever had is a situation where the PL259 itself was bad. But as far as connection issues, never. So, what you're going to need, what I have is very primitive. Let's see, at least one set of pliers, maybe a couple sets, some wire cutters, good razor knife, and a pair of scissors for the braid. So here's your typical 259. This is a very cheap one. I hate these personally. It's got the red, whatever this is, dielectric, whatever, around the center pin. Not particularly fond of these, but I use them quite often. And these come, I'm sure you've seen them. They come with this adapter for like Mini 8 or RG8X as people call it. Don't use this. Don't use this. I never solder the braid to the 259. I'll show you exactly how to get a connection that will never fail. And it's really easy. So, first thing you want to do before you forget, take your barrel, your threaded part, the barrel, make sure you put it on the right way, threads towards the end of the cable, drop that on there. If you forget, it's okay if you've got, you do the first one and you forget. If you do the second one, you forget, you got to take it off. So, actually, let me get I don't know if I'll need my spectacles. My eyes are not that good. So I'll get these over here in case I need them. Okay, first thing you want to do, take the 259 if you're a right-handed person. Flip the whole thing if you're left-handed. Hold the coax in your right hand. Line the end of the coax up with a center pin and go down. Place your fingernail right where the threads are. Take your razor knife. Go right around the coax and bend it when you go around. Do not cut into the braid. I've gotten very adept at doing this. She break free? Yep. That's it. Pull the casing off. Okay. First thing you want to do, it depends on the thickness of the duct tape. Usually it takes roughly 6 to 8 wraps of duct tape. And I'll show you how to do this. It's important to go in the correct direction. Tear off about half inch piece of duct tape. So electrical tape does not work as well. Well, we're about at, I'm running out of duct tape, so probably going to have to add some. So what you want to do is you want to wrap this, place the duct tape on the back side, hold the coax if you're right-handed so the end is facing to the right. Lay the duct tape on like this. What this does is it allows it so when this threads on, it doesn't try and spin the duct tape off. You want it to crush the braid. So go ahead and wrap this. This isn't going to be enough duct tape. I can tell just by looking at it right now. Not even close. So we'll get, it's close, but it ain't quite there. So we're going to have to add a piece. And you always, if you have to add some or tear some off, not a big deal. Just add it where you left off. Another 2 wraps on there. That should probably do it. I may have a little too much on there right now. Okay, the next step is to pull your braid back. And the one thing you want to watch for, which is obvious, you do not want just one of these wires that makes contact with the center pin will dead short your coax. So you want to make sure that's there. You can leave the foil on if you want. I usually don't. So I'll take a pair of scissors. Just cut this foil off and just make sure the foil's folded back. Nice. Now, what I do is I go through and I cut the braid. So I'm going to actually do this off camera. Do it over the trash can. So I snip the braid so that's about a 1/2 inch long. And it probably will be sticking out the back, which can be a little bit annoying because you'll stick yourself with it. But a wrap of amalgamous tape or electrical tape right at the end of the PL259 will settle the score on that and prevent you from getting stuck if any ends up sticking out, you know. So and again, this is much faster. Once you get used to this, you can do this pretty quickly. All right. Try and get all the braid off the scissors. So now that you got this, you want to fold your braid down over the duct tape. Okay. Take your razor knife and cut the dielectric back so you leave about a 1/4 inch. Right about there. Go around it. How I do it, I just rotate it and then press down with a razor knife. You can feel it hit the wire. I usually give it a bend back and forth, check to see where it's not cut. And that should do it. Grab it, pull it off. Spin this bad boy. I'm going to kick the soldering iron on. Check my temperature. You want high heat. You do not want to get the center pin too hot because you melt the dielectric around the center pin and the 259. Okay, then what I do, check it first. Take your 259, put it on, and check to see that's perfect right there. That'll start to thread on. That's perfect. So now that that's checked, take a little bit of dielectric grease. If you don't have dielectric grease, you can use just a tiny bit of flux. Just to grease the threads a little bit. And what that does is it helps prevent I'm almost out of dielectric grease. It'll prevent that oxidation. So just take a little tiny bit. Don't go crazy with this. Just smear it on the threads right here on the 259 at the start of the threads. All right. Make sure your wire center pin is straight. Slide this on gently. Make sure you get it in the hole. And then you literally screw the 259 right on. Now what'll happen is if it's tight enough, you'll have to take a pair of pliers, put it on the duct tape. Don't put it on the coax. Put it on the duct tape and grip it. Don't crush it. And just spin this bad boy on. All right, and you keep spinning until that center pin comes out, where you can get at it with some solder to solder your center pin. Keep screwing that bad boy on there. And I don't know if you can see it, the center pin is right, the wire is right at the end. Right at the end, right there in the center pin. You look in here, you should see your dielectric. And the coax is all the way up to the end. All right, you're done. That's it. That connection, do not solder the braid. There's no reason to solder the braid. As you can see, there's a little bit of wire sticking out. So it's very difficult to trim. I would not try and trim that. You can always cut it back shorter, but I usually don't. I may take some amalgamous tape, and once this barrel is threaded up on here, I'll take some amalgamous tape and just do a couple wraps around here, or maybe even some electrical tape, just to prevent myself from getting stuck. If your hand slides up the coax and you go to thread it on, you may get stuck by that wire. It's a little annoying. I'm used to it. Don't care. Anyways, go ahead and clamp this puppy in a vise or something. Pinch it down on the table. And there you go. What I do is I take a little bit of flux, place it right in there. Grab your solder, get your iron good and hot. Make sure your tip is clean. Lay your iron in there. Hit it with some solder. Boom. That's it. Let it cool for a second. What I often do, I either use my fingernail or I use a sharp pick, and I'll just hit that wire, the coax, the center pin on the wire, and just try and move it on that center pin of the 259. If it don't move, you are good to go. There's one final step, which you always, I would recommend always do this. Don't take anything for granted. Get your barrel on there, thread it on. You're done. There's your 259. Never fail. Never had a single failure, and I can't even begin to tell you how many I've soldered like that, put on like that. Basically what happens is when you thread this on, it crushes the wire, the braid into the threads in this barrel. It's a very good connection. So where am I? I need my, see if I can knock something off the table here. Okay, what you want to do, grab your meter. You want to check for a dead short first. Okay. Place one of your leads on the barrel. Place and touch the center pin. If you do not hear a tone, oh, I'm on the wrong one. Sorry, on capacitance. Okay, no tone. That's what you want. Now, before you go any further, well, this is after you solder the second 259 on the other end. I'm not going to solder two of them. So what you want to do is you want to check continuity. So as you can see, I have a cutoff piece. This was snipped off. So you want to check continuity. Make sure you've got continuity on the center. Center to center. Place one lead on the center. There you go. Now continuity center to center. Shield. Shield to shield. That's beautiful. You're done. That's it. That's all you got to do. Do the exact same thing on the other end. Again, check continuity. Check for a dead short. Make darn sure when you pull that braid back that there's no braid sticking up. When you go to thread this on, make sure it's all pulled back over the tape as it threads on. One little piece of that braid touching that center pin will create a dead short, and it'll be useless. That's it, folks. On that one, we'll catch you later. We're coming back with a full VNA tutorial. Woohoo!